All right. We're going to give it a go. Mac Miller, Balloonerisms. For those who are unaware, I did try and do a reaction to Faces. I couldn't finish it. I got halfway through. I stopped. I turned it off. It's the first time ever in channel history I could not complete an album. It was just too sad. It was too sad. I felt like I was standing on the man's grave. And I listen to artists who are, who have died. It's not like Jimi Hendrix is still alive. Like there's, I don't know. It was just, I felt wrong. Like, I love doing this. I love listening to music. I love exploring music. I love being the person that's riding along in the car with you when you're on the road trip or you're at work or whatever. Like, I love that. I really appreciate that. And I've listened to other artists who have passed, Extentation and Juice WRLD. I mean, there's so many fucking guys who've died. It's ridiculous. But I think with Faces, the lyrics and what Mac was saying, it was so much, man. It just basically it went beyond the line of being able to enjoy it. Like, how can I sit here and enjoy this when I know everything that happened? It's just, it was tough. It was very tough. So I'm a little apprehensive coming into this one. However, I'm also just kind of in a mood. Today is, I'm going to note the date. It is February 15th of 2025. I say that because my house is about to go through a bunch of demo and renovations because of a water leak in the kitchen, and I don't know how many Fridays are going to get disrupted. So I'm recording this in advance. I'm going to stick it in the vault. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm trying not to tell anybody. I want to tell people, but at the same time, people get all excited and they want to see it right away. So anyway, February 15th, the morning of, it's about 6:30 a.m. I'm not sad or depressed or anything. I'm just like, you know what? I've been listening to some dark ambient this morning. Atrium, how do you pronounce it? Atrium Carsi, I think is how you say it. Yeah. Carcery. Listened to a little bit of Earl Sweatshirt this morning off of I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. Just kind of, I was like, okay, well, I've always told myself I want to sit down with this when I'm kind of in the mood where I feel like maybe I can just take it for what it is. And I think I'm there right now. And Mac Miller is going to say what he needs to say. And he's going to go through what he's going through. And I understand what happens down the road. And I'm not going to get hung up on, feeling like I'm, taking advantage of him or something like that. I don't there's a phrase for it. Standing on the guy's grave is close, but that's not exactly it. I don't want to fucking exploit the guy. It's not that that's not that easy. I don't know. I just respect the man. Really, that's really what it comes down. I respect him. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could explain it better. Maybe you guys understand. Maybe I don't have to explain it. But let's check it out. I did notice, 14 tracks an hour. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I got to the last one. I was like, oh shit, 12 minutes. Okay, all right, that's fine. But surprising 12-minute song at the end. So really, the album itself is, this first one's just a 30-second instrumental. So it's really 12 songs, 45 minutes or so. Which, okay, that's a cool run. I am going to watch the film. So I set it up on Amazon. I rented it. It's ready to go. That'll be Patreon only. So if you want to watch the film with me, Patreon's $2. No ads, no cuts, MP3 format, Discord, all that stuff. Let's get into it. Mac Miller. I did read the little snippet. This was made around the same time as Faces or during the Faces era. And he kind of worked on this for a couple of weeks as a jam session in his home studio or something. And then it just got shelved. And then, they worked on it after the fact. Let's go. Tambourine Dream, produced by Larry Fisherman. This was Mac Miller's producer alter ego. Oh, okay, it is Mac Miller. I thought so. Important to remember. I just listened to Mike, the Showbiz album by Mike, and the whole time I had no idea GJ Black Power is Mike. So there you go. So Larry Fisherman is Mac Miller. Tambourine Dream, and this is only 30 seconds. We'll go right into DJ's Chord organ, which is got SZA on it. Here we go. Balloonerisms, Mac Miller, track 1. Yeah, stuff like this is neat just because, yeah, let's put it on the album, you know? And I like it because I would never do something like this. It's just different.
He said after the Grammys.
Huh. Ha.
F.
It's amazing how two notes can already create a mood.
D.
Oh, and Thundercat's on here. Cool. Very cool. Nice, just patient, like atmospheric type of intro. Just making music, you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. It feels like just like floating a bit, you know?
I love when you smell like your car, smell like you've been driving for days. You ain't even stopped for gas, my nigga, Mr. Postman. Is you driving to me? Is you driving cross country? You've been up for 3 days with one nap. I know you missed the night time. I know you miss your lifetime. Tell me the truth about it.
Wampa, 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 wampa. This is fucking cool, man. There's just this feeling rolling through it. I think it's because it's Mac. But there's just this floating melancholy. I love the wampa wampa wampa. You know, it's almost over. I was gonna say, it's from an album creation standpoint, especially for a posthumous release. In my opinion, it's really kind of brilliant to have such a long duration at the start without hearing Mac Miller's voice. It's very it's gonna be a hard fucking video to get through, man. I'm already like sad. Which it's surprising because I like Mac Miller, I like his music, I like his songs, but I don't listen to him that often. It's not like I'm all heartbroken over the fact that he died or anything like that. I mean, it is sad, but you know, people die all the time. How he died is sad, but people die like that all the time. So it's strange that it hits so hard to me. A little strange. Not like wildly strange. I'm not cold and dead inside. You guys have seen me fucking cry plenty of times, right? But kind of going back to my original point of, like, he's gone. In having this long delay, this long stretch of music before you even hear his voice again, he kind of like lightly addresses that, you know, like it's not a moment of silence, but it's a moment of music for him. And then you hear his voice. Let's move into track 3 before I just start fucking crying for no reason. Well, not no reason, but you guys know. This is called Do You Have a Destination? It kind of dumps right into it from the previous track, DJ's Chord organ, which I liked. I really liked. I think another thing that was special about that song was he's just playing. We're just playing. Just making music. No real concern there. Honestly, I didn't even touch on the lyrics. There's not a whole lot to go through. Cocaine is ruthless. Tell me the truth about it. I feel like the whole thing, even though the song was over 5 minutes, just feels like this intro. So there's not a whole lot to dig into here without me making a bunch of assumptions. So that's why we're just going to move forward. But, God, I forgot the other thing I was going to say. It's going to be a ride. Going to be a ride for sure. This one's called Do You Have a Destination? Taylor Graves and Larry Fishman. Let's jump in. Track 3. But yeah, that was basically like a 6-minute intro. Which is really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. You can feel it. Can you feel it? Vibration. Okay, I went sleep, faded, and I woke up invisible. Keep the ingredients, but I got the kitchen full. Thoughts are cynical, actions unpredictable. Supermodel bitches hold auditions in my swimming pool. This feeling is feeling pretty invincible. Pray this life reciprocal, and I'ma come back an eagle. Thirsty for evil, the wine chilled in hell. I gave my life to this shit, already killed myself. Where are you going? Watch you go.
Wow. Wow. It's kind of like bumpy in its pace. It feels like it's going and then it's like hitting the brakes. It's going and hitting the brakes.
Okay, I went sleep famous and I woke up invisible. Rich fucking miserable. At least I did Kimmel and Arsenio. My mom got it on video. That's the shit I live for. All this other shit is trivial.
To a miracle.
Wow.
A middle finger to the cyber gods. Fall back or I'ma fuck around and let this virus off. In the mud, fuck your brainwash, I'm signing off. Can't kill a god with an upload. Yeah, going.
Huh.
Where are you going? Do you have a destination?
It's jarring. It's unsettling, which is, I think that's the point. Huh. I don't like it as a song, but I love it as an expression of art. Like, it's not like I dislike the song, but the song is made, in my opinion, it sounds like how it feels, how he probably feels. And I'm just gonna I'm making assumptions. I have to make assumptions, okay? And this is during the Faces era. Faces was pretty fucking bleak. I have literally never gone back to it since my failed attempt at doing a complete reaction to the album. But he was in a dark place. So I'm just gonna use this dark place as a baseline assumption for everything I talk about when it comes to this. Do you have a destiny? I feel like this is just him. This is his thought process. This is him. And the track is kind of bumpy. It goes and then it doesn't go, and the production side I feel like is brilliant because it's a great representation of where the fuck am I going? Am I going anywhere? It's just a bumpy ride. And what I like about that is I feel like in general people, they look at stars and fame and money and attention and all these wonderful things. It's so wonderful. And this is not wonderful in the sense of how those things are portrayed. So we're like past the veneer of all the bullshit of the celebrity life. And I'm this person stuck in this world. And this is what it feels like. it feels like a guy who's just trying to figure it the fuck out, you know? Went to sleep faded, woke up invisible. Actually, verse 2 was the one. I went to sleep famous and I woke up invisible. That one, rich as fuck and miserable. That right there. Those two lines essentially are the lyrical summary of how the production kind of feels. Well, I didn't want to say the production. It's not like the production's miserable, but it's so bumpy. And this question, where are you going? Where are you going? Going. Where are we going? Where is this going? Because I'm just trying to put myself in that position. How do you answer that question for yourself if you're rich as fuck and miserable? You know? But obviously you love music and you love making music and your career is music and you're going to keep making music. But the music is what also makes you famous and that's what makes you rich and miserable. So how do you get out of this jam? Where do you go? What's my destination? If the thing I love doing, the thing that's probably the most important to me in my life, is also ultimately making me miserable. How the fuck does that work, you know? Other than just disappear and just make music for yourself. But that doesn't even work either, really, because making music, an aspect of making music, is sharing it with other people. You can make it for yourself, but you gotta, you know, ultimately, music is meant to be heard and enjoyed. So this song, Do You Have a Destination? It just feels like being stuck in that box. And that's why the song is so well done, but also kind of hard to listen to a little bit. It's a little bumpy for me. It's a little rough because it is rough. I gave my life to this shit. I already killed myself. Always been the realist. Keep the same homies so all that bullshit fades slowly. I like the supermodel bitches hold auditions in my swimming pool. Oh, fuck. At least I did Kimmel and Arsenio. My mom got it on video. That's the shit I live for. All this other shit is trivial. So I think right there, that's the shit I live for. Maybe not so much Kimmel and Arsenio specifically, but performing the music. And there's other stuff in here. I don't want to tear into it too much. Really just impressed by the structure of the song, the feeling that it gives. Especially these wows to wow. Like, incredible, honestly. The song's incredible, but it's tough. But that it's like a feedback loop. That's what makes it so incredible. Need to let the drugs go. Trying to find heaven. I get high, but never come close. A middle finger to the cyber gods. I don't understand this. Fall back or I'm gonna fuck around and let this virus off. This is, it's a long ass annotation. Okay, well, I'll just believe that they're right. We're gonna move on. This is track 4. It's called $5 Pony Rides. We got Thundercat. We got Mac. We've got Ronald Bruner Jr. and Kentaro. Here we go, track 4. $5 Pony Rides. Do You Have a Destination was pretty incredible. That gets a heart. All right, here we go.
It ain't about money. I can show you.
I like the drums.
What can you do for me?
And the
We
bass.
can take a vacation,
And the keyboard.
go somewhere in the
I like it. I like it all.
Turn the radio on, hear my song sing. My favorite song sing. She don't know. She slept through the future, missed it was yesterday. So we right back where we started. She still trying to get away. Girl, you wasting my time. It's feeling pretty lonely. Your daddy should've got you that morning. Let me give you what you want. Killing yourself like this, going crazy. Keep
Sounds great. That sounds great.
How was that living? Every time I reminisce, I keep thinking it was better then. I remember we made out underneath the rain clouds. Stay out late, I wanna
I like
lay
that.
down,
Made
break
out,
down.
stay out.
Tell me,
sounds great. This sounds great. I really like the sound of the drums on this one. That just got that clap, click, clap.
Your daddy should have got you that pony. Let me give you what you want. Can I give you what you need? Can I give you what you want? Can I
Get that bass belly back in there.
What you need? What do you need, girl? Yeah, so can I give you what you want?
Get those keys back in the
Can I give you what you need?
Great job.
Can I give
Great
you what
job.
you want?
Just play, friends. Just play. Huh. Now what? Oh, all right. So we're gonna keep on jamming a bit. Nice. This last string of music here makes me happy because on the previous track discussing the idea of I'm rich and miserable as fuck. I'm kind of trapped in this situation where I love making music, but the music is technically, ultimately leading to my misery as well. But here we are playing and having fun. And that's what matters the most, you know, having fun, enjoying that thing. Just, you love it. You know, he loves it. He loves it. And we just, yeah, you can't quit. Can't. This is what flows through my soul, you know? I wanted to hit this annotation. Your daddy should have got you that pony. In the song, Mac is replacing the woman's father figure with a romantic relationship with her. She's looking to him to give her what she needs, what she wants. Mac saying you should have got you that pony is pretty sad. The woman's father should have been there for his daughter, and the song being $5 pony rides mean that the rides were expensive. The dad simply didn't want to give her that childhood experience. Okay, sure. What do I have to say about the lyrics? It ain't about the money. I could show you the world. What can you do for me? Take a vacation, go somewhere, turn the radio on, hear my song. This part I've really is intriguing to me. She don't know she slept through the future, missed it. It was yesterday. Like, I feel like in the context of a potential relationship, to me, I take that as someone who's there, but they're not really in the moment. They're not paying attention. They're missing the moments that make a relationship stronger. You know, maybe distracted by something or really just not investing emotionally into what's happening. Because that's what life is. It's just a bunch of moments. And we're either, you know, some moments suck. So we don't invest in that, right? And some of them we're just not interested in. And that's fine because you're not interested in everything. But that's what I think of is you missed it. Like we had this chance to kind of bond, and for whatever reason, you weren't there. And then the next line, you know, we're right back where we started. She's still trying to get away. You're wasting my time. I'm wasting your time. That's okay. Like, okay, we'll just kind of have this unconnected interaction, and there you go. You know. And it kind of, then that folds into the chorus pretty well. I'll give you what you want. Maybe later I can give you what you need. But like right now, it seems like this person is not in a position to engage with needs. It's going to be more surface level. You used to have fun. I ain't seen a smile in a while. Here you're feeling pretty lonely. Your dad should have got you that pony. Huh. Killing yourself like this, going crazy, keeping all of these secrets. How is that living? Every time I reminisce, I keep thinking it was better than I remember when we made out under the rain clouds. Yeah. What's this one? Just familiar numbers hammered to your door. People are just guessing on that one. Okay, that's fine. I suppose we're all just guessing, aren't we? I shouldn't criticize someone for doing the same thing I'm literally doing right now. You got to start somewhere, right? When you're solving the puzzle, you got to have a baseline beginning and then work on it from there. Good song. Great jam. Great music. Track 5 is called Friendly Hallucinations. We got Thundercat and Taylor Grace producing. Let's drop into track 5. Friendly Hallucinations.
Can you hear the whispers of an innocent, ignorant child in the ocean? Get to swimming or drown.
Thundercat
How long
doing
has
like
it been since you smiled?
a mile below sea level baseline.
Inside that gown. Her mama was a ladybug, Papa was an atheist, working on a novel set in Cold War Romania, chasing love, idolizing Joan of Arcadia. Pray the landscapers don't wake her up. I'm a slave to the baseline.
Hell yeah.
Conversation topic got us tangled in the grapevine. Still wide awake, I'm a stranger to the daytime. Vampire, higher than a hang glider. Look around and all I see is gray skies. It's only real if it's real to you. Does it feel? It's only real if it's real to you. It's only real if it's real to you. So what's it feel like? Yeah. Tell me, is it real if you can't hold it in your arms, but it can touch you? Feel its texture pressing up against your chest. You say, I love you, you don't hear it back. Falling victim to a world that's filled with satire. Mark Twain admire. Open Tom Sawyer, read a passage to the cab driver. She only in the backseat of a taxi cause the car is in the shop with a flat tire. Mom says she believe her, but she always been a bad liar. Had a plan to burn her past, but it backfired.
Let's pause. Let's try and go through these lyrics. They're kind of challenging. Can you hear the whispers of an innocent, ignorant child in the ocean get to swimming or drown? Oh, that's funny. I was talking over the beginning part a bit. I apologize. But the bass line, I said it sounds like we're fucking underwater with this bass line, a mile deep or whatever in the ocean. In the ocean, get to swimming or drown. That's a scary line. My wife's family has some friends, and they have this tiny little, really super rustic cabin way up in the mountains, like 8,000 feet. There's no running water. You have to bring a generator, all that kind of stuff, right? But it's a cabin, and you're indoors, and it's right on this little lake. And I was out swimming, and I start swimming, and it's like, oh fuck. Right, we're at like 8,000 feet. The air is a lot different than where I live, like 200 feet above sea level. I was like, oh shit, I gotta like catch my breath. But I was kind of out in the middle of the lake. It's not a big lake, but I was out in the middle of it. Like if I was to go under, then nobody would be able to get to me in time. So that was a little foolish on my part. But the idea of in the ocean, get to swim in or drown. I mean, obviously sink or swim idea, but the idea is amplified by, well, what if you're in the middle of the ocean? Like, there's no land in sight. And so it's either swim until, exhaustion or drown. And what if swimming doesn't even get you there? That line is kind of terrifying, honestly. Being in the middle of the ocean is a scary experience. I've been in the middle of the ocean many times on an aircraft carrier. Now, obviously, pretty safe on an aircraft carrier, but it's a trip to just look out and see nothing but water. It's a trip. How long has it been since you smiled, girl? I love the way your body fit inside that gown. Her mama was a ladybug? What's a ladybug in this context? Papa was an atheist. Small beetles. Okay. Chasing love, idolizing Joan of Arcadia, pray the landscapers don't wake her up. I'm a slave to the baseline, aren't we all? Conversation topic got us tangled up in the grapevine. Still wide awake, a stranger to the daytime. I'm a stranger to the daytime. Vampire, so he's up at night all the time. Higher than a hang glider, look around, all I see is gray skies. There's help inside that medicine cabinet. This line's kind of scary. Came in for the answers, but left with a habit. So that didn't work out well. There's no one on the other end of that telephone. Fall asleep to the metronome. And falling for hallucinations. What's love without imagination? And, that I feel like this is a different way of saying, falling in love with the idea of a person. You see that in movies every now and then or whatever. It's not so much, it's not me that you are in love with. It's the idea that you have of me. And really what that means is what you think I am is not who I actually am. That type of thing. But this could be something a little different. Falling for her hallucinations. Let's get into verse 2. Tell me, is it real if you can't hold it in your arms, but it can touch you? So it's not a physical thing, but it is like a more of an emotional thing. You're touched by it even though it isn't physically present. Feel its texture, press it up against your chest. You say, I love you, you don't hear it back. Falling victim to a world that's filled with satire. Mark Twain admired, but sorry, let's see here. Mom says she believes her, but she's always been a bad liar. Had a plan to burn her past, but it backfired. Now, the question is who had that plan? Did she have a plan to burn her past, as in, like, get rid of all of it? Scorched earth, it no longer exists type of thing? But it backfired. Maybe it burned her instead. The plan, I don't know. Hold on and be strong, kneel before your king. The land you put your knees on, it won't be long until your path finds you. And for that to come after, kneel before your king. The land you put your knees on, it won't be long till your path finds you. It's like whoever you bow down and worship to in a, I don't know. What's the Bible saying? You can only serve one God at a time, or man cannot serve God and mammon at the same time, or whatever the hell it is. If love is just a fantasy, what's the problem if you fall in love with fantasy? They assume she's confused with the illusion screen. It'll be okay if she just swallow this pill. So she's hiding, basically. Friending hallucinations is almost like the flip side of if you flip the coin over, the other side of that coin is unfriendly reality. That's what I would say. And so we're going to swallow this pill so we can stay away from the reality. There you go. Let's keep going. Let's finish this up. I'm only about halfway through.
What's love without imagination? Yeah. Baby, don't let them tell you what's real and what's not.
Trippy. I'm having like a really intense deja vu right now. Really intense.
It's only real if it's real to you. It's only real if it's real to you. It's only real if it's real to you. Having conversation.
I feel like I know that sample. I got how much they've been fucking around with the keyboard on this. On the album.
There's a paradise waiting on the other side of the dock. Whoa.
Interesting song. It's only real if it's real to you. I feel like there's some context there relating to drugs and escapism and that kind of thing. They don't need no explanation. There's beauty in creation, my Lord, my Lord. So the other thing too, it's only real if it's real to you. You could throw that into the context of love, where one person can love the other, but if the other doesn't love them back, then the love is not necessarily real. In terms of a relationship, I mean, the one person loving the other, that can be real, but that's gotta go both ways, otherwise it don't work. So there's just a lot of subtle layers in this track. Love not being reciprocated. That's up here, verse 2, I love you, you don't hear it back. Falling in love with something that isn't real. If love is just a fantasy, taking pills, hallucinations, it's only real if it's real to you. It almost feels like just kind of being lost. in a sense. Lost in a lot of different ways. Lost in love, lost in drugs, lost in reality and trying to maybe not necessarily experience reality as much. Rather hang out with my friendly hallucinations. Let's keep going. The sample makes me think of Nas, makes me think of Illmatic. That's going to be my guess. It's off of Illmatic, but it's so chopped. It's like a half a second sample. I couldn't really pick up what it was. Track 6 is called Mrs. Deborah Downer. One of my favorite skits from Saturday Night Live is the Debbie Downer, where they're at Disneyland or Disney World. Fucking hilarious. Because the whole cast is just crying, laughing. Like, it's hilarious. At one point, they're having breakfast at Disney World, and they bring out the prop for breakfast. And at one point, one guy is wiping his tears with the Mickey Mouse pancakes. He's just fucking crying. He's laughing so hard. It's so good. If you've never seen that, look up Saturday Night, Debbie Downer, Disney World or whatever. It's so great. It's hilarious. And there's one part too where the Debbie Downer character, because everybody, they do rehearsals, they know the lines that other people have as well. She's trying to say this line. She's trying to keep her shit together to say the line. And then she looks over at, was it Jimmy Fallon, I think. And he knows what she's supposed to say. And he can't even fucking keep a straight face because he knows what's coming. It's fun. Producers are Larry Fishman, Thundercat, and Taylor Graves. So that would be Mr. Mac Miller, Thundercat, Taylor Graves. All right, here we go. Track 6, Debbie Downer.
Yeah, nothing is impossible. Do the shit together, we unstoppable. Raised to be a leader, not a navigator. Wrote down on scraps of paper. All roads lead to the same confusion. All roads lead to the same conclusions. They found my body somewhere in the sewer. My girl to find the word prolific for me, and I can't read her mind. She wrote a different story. Oh well, redemption is a funny bitch. The devil always be right where the money is.
Even pills turn to powder, babe.
Even pills turn to powder.
Even pills turn to powder. The world wanna crush them down. Even pills turn to powder, babe.
Ha.
And you sit right next to me and crush them down. I just thought that this feeling would last longer.
Ha.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm just gonna let it go. We're halfway through. I like how it just, again, it's a little bumpy. It's not like smooth, elegant. A little bumpy.
Yeah, somebody gave me a treasure map. Nowhere on that motherfucker say where the X is at. Now I wanna see the whole world through a telecast. Been waiting my whole life, I finally thought I should tell you that. Yeah, started smoking weed again. Started trying to read again. Clean myself up, now would you be my friend? Do I need to know the beginning to see the end?
What you gonna do when the money coming slow and you left out on your own? What you gonna do when the money coming slow? What you gonna do when the money coming slow? What you gonna do when the money coming slow and you left out in the cold? What you gonna do when the money coming slow? What you gonna do? Money coming slow. What you gonna do? Money coming slow. What you gonna do? Money coming slow. Whoa, what you gonna do?
The trap amplifies, man. Like, I was just thinking of this song in the context of the idea of famous or rich as fuck and miserable. It is, what a bind to feel like you're living a life where yeah, you can have whatever you want, but in having whatever you want, you feel like you've got nothing and you're almost even trapped by it. But then there's also the fear of, if you're strung out on drugs and you're addicted to drugs and you're having, persistent drug problems, there's also a fear of, oh shit, what if I can't afford that anymore? And then having to go through that, even though ultimately that would be a long-term win. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Original sin, we all come from the same struggle. And that, okay, all that does is explain what original sin is. I know what that is. Clean myself up now. Would you be my friend? Do I need to know the beginning to see the end? What's the difference between truth and things we pretend? I lie awake faded, watch the days go by. This line is very interesting. I mean, after Friendly Hallucinations, was it? Yeah, where they're not really connecting. Because here he is, mentioning that days are going by, and if you're faded, if you're all faded, then you're not really connecting with the day. You're not connecting with the world. Time's just slipping on by. Somebody gave me a treasure map, and nowhere on that motherfucker say where the X is at. I don't want to see the whole world through a telecast. What does that mean? It's an explanation of how Mac lived during his struggles with addiction. Many of his other songs during this time have themes of isolation, depression, and little outreach. Max expresses he's done seeing the world through his television. Yeah, maybe that's it. He needs to go outside, get outside. I don't want to see the whole world through a telecast. That makes sense. If pills can turn to powder, then this world could turn to ash. Everything seems so slow. And the production captures that too. The production every now and then kind of stumbles along and just creeps and stumbles along, which is good. I like it when production matches theme of a song. I just thought this feeling would last longer. And maybe that's part of the cycle. I'm fortunate enough I've not had a drug addiction problem. I've never had that. I drink a little bit more than I should, that's for sure. But I can't imagine what it's like to have this loop in your head of like, okay, I'm just gonna take these couple pills or whatever, and then that'll get me through this point, and then I'll be okay, right? But then, and obviously that form of logic is already not great. But in that, what if you think it's going to get you through whatever, but it only gets you halfway? Oh, shit, it's already wearing off. Oh, shit, I got to take more? My girl defined the word prolific for me. I can't read her mind. She wrote a different story. Prolific is obviously about writing. If you're prolific, at least in writing, that means you write a lot. The devil always be right where the money is. Somebody got to be watching you, but no one is. It's kind of crazy life could be this simple. Nothing's coincidence. And with that line mentioning original sin, and this song, maybe he is looking through life through the lens of, it really does just come down to good and evil. And here I am with a lot of evil because I got a lot of money. And all this money is just hanging around me, which means the devil's just hanging around me. My best friend packed his things, threw him in the car. I haven't seen him since. I guess I understand. He always got the chills when he saw a room full of rolled up $100 bills. Which, if your context is the devil is always right where the money is, then you might as well have a room full of devils, right? Let's keep going. That was an interesting song. This is called Stoned. This is track 7, produced by Larry Fishman. Here we go. Drop it in. Track 7.
Yeah. Writes down the pain.
Good little guitar lick
Yeah.
there.
She breaks down the paint, she rolls up the weed. She far from a saint, she's all that I need. She lost in her thoughts, so hardly she speaks. Her mind's always dirty and her soul's never free. She never been a groupie, she just in love with the music. She watched depressing movies, always isolation. She locking the bathroom door.
Huh.
Baby, let's
Oh,
get
that was great.
stoned.
That was great. The drum beat turned it into the pounding on the bathroom door. That was great.
We can get stoned. I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. She hardly talks in conversation, but when she do, all her words get lost in translation. No, she can't move, cause she paralyzed in fear that she fantasized. The doctor tried to analyze, they cannot find anything that's wrong with her. Baby, let's get stoned.
That's good. That's really good.
Put on a record, can I play you one more song?
I like this chorus. I mean, the song's pretty sad, but this is a good chorus.
We can get stoned.
I was scrolling up to see if there was a summary to see who the she is in this one, because honestly, I almost feel like Mac is just talking about himself here. Probably not. I mean, he probably is talking about somebody else, but the relatability of the song for this person from him is probably pretty easy. Probably. The annotation here, Mac describes the life of a girl who is somehow just like him. Yeah. So we're on the same page there. Something from the 30s or 40s about a dependent housewife. Always watching depressing movies. She's never been a groupie, just in love with the music. Always watching depressing movies. Something from the 30s or 40s about a dependent housewife. So in this context, why is that depressing? Because the dependent housewife is trapped. The dependent housewife cannot leave the relationship because they need the spouse to bring in the money and provide the food and the shelter and all that kind of stuff. Which is very, it's a great metaphor for drug addiction. It's depressing if you're trapped. And especially too with that kind of metaphor, if you're using drugs to escape pain, escape reality, that's the world you want to live in, this friendly hallucination. Yeah, you're trapped inside this thing that the drugs create for you. She makes up her bed like she makes up her stories. Knock on the door, she let me come in. I wish she would learn to laugh. Yeah, I feel like, this is probably both. He wrote this song for a person, but it's also for himself. Or maybe he just created this person. Who knows? Who knows? She hardly talks in conversation. When she do, all her words get lost in translation. That one, you feel like you never speak because no one ever really listens to what you're saying. And then you finally do speak and the people take your words and it's like, that's not what I meant. You're not listening to me, that type of thing. Let's finish this one up. Interesting song. Great little guitar lick on the chorus.
I swear to God, heaven feels just like home. Let's go home.
I'll wait till the end, but the home thing is important too. Heaven and home. Let's go home. That part is
Baby,
great.
let's get stoned. Put on a record. Can I play you one more song? Let's go home.
So the home portion is important. Somewhat important. It to me, it adds on to the metaphor of the dependent housewife. Let's go home. Heaven feels just like home. And the dependent housewife, for the majority of their lives, spend their lives in the home, So I feel like it amplifies the metaphor of being trapped in this stoned state of being dependent on drugs type of thing. You know, that one's tough because I like the song in terms of how it sounds, but it's just this is what's tough for me with Mac Miller is he's made some great music, but I have a hard time enjoying some of it. So I don't listen to a lot of songs from Mac Miller. I listen to a couple songs. It's very, very rare if I listen to a full album by Mac Miller. Because it's just fucking sad, man. Sad. And there's nothing wrong with being sad and using music to express your emotion or listening to music to process your emotion. I mean, I'm all for that. But there's something with Mac. It's just a little different for me for some reason. I don't know why. All right, let's move on to track 8. Shangri-La. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a country? No, well, I don't know. Who fucking knows? Anyway, it's track 8. It's produced by Larry Fishman. Just under 3 minutes. Let's jump in.
Don't be afraid to put your 2 cents in. Might not be able to afford anything, but I'm always up for a bargain. Okay, I was driving up to Shangri-La to get my meditation on. I was thinking Lamb of God, she was thinking Saint Laurent. She sell the pussy on Millionaires Avenue. Paper's not the problem, spending money always casual. Why do you whine like your last name was Rothschild? Life been a bitch ever since they let me out the doghouse. No mercy for the docile. Flow is hostile, but don't sleep. Codeine came back to get me high again. Just how super is a supermodel?
How super is a supermodel? Trippy song.
Yeah. I am getting ready to sign my life away. The weather's nice today, what a perfect day to die. She kill herself, but she'd rather get married. There's coconut vodka, but she'd rather have cherry. I wish my drug dealer took the Amex. Can't find my debit card. I told her meet me by the annex, and we can get high by the reservoir. And just how super is a supermodel?
Wow, he's really just like fucking around with the production, man.
It's the house of the rising sun, the village of unusual. If I'm dying young, promise you'll smile at my funeral. Yeah, it's just a rule to follow. Live today cause you can lose tomorrow.
Weird. The Just How Super is a Supermodel makes me think of The Incredibles and Edna Mold, the short little lady that does all the designs for their suits, their super suits. I think it's the first one where you first get introduced to her and she's talking about being in Milan or something like that. And supermodels, bah, nothing super about them. I need to watch that movie again. That movie's great. The Incredibles are fantastic. Both those movies are great. I like, don't be afraid to put your 2 cents in. Like your 2 cents being your opinion. Might not be able to afford anything, but I'm always up for a bargain. Like, I feel like he's saying, you can share your opinion and maybe I'll listen to it. Maybe I won't. Who knows, you know? But don't worry about saying something. Let's see what the annotation says. Take the risk to focus your efforts on something. You might not be able to enjoy everything around you, but it'll work out in the end. Maybe. I think it's more of an opinion thing. The dragons are flying south for the winter. The only thing I can think of there is chasing the dragon, which is related to getting high. So you're going south. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. They don't like cold weather either. So maybe it's like his dealers. Maybe all the dealers are going south because it's cold. I was thinking Lamb of God. She was thinking, so Lamb of God is a metal band. What's... Okay, they're talking greater good and sacrifice. What's Saint Laurent, whatever the fuck that is? Saint Laurent as the literal material brand in which would translate the verse. Okay, so they're just guessing there on that one. That's fine. She selling the pussy on Millionaires Avenue. Papers not the problem. Spending money always casual. Why do you whine like your last name with Rothschild? Life of a bitch ever said, let me have the doghouse. It's the house of the rising sun, a village of unusual. If I'm dying. That's the song. I know the song. I'm familiar with the song. Most versions of the song tell the story of a person who has done wrong in their life, and they try to keep those close to them from making the same mistake. I've never really paid attention to the lyrics of that song. Great song, but I never really paid attention to the lyrics. Getting ready to sign my life away. Weather's nice. What a perfect day to die. She'd kill herself, but she'd rather get married. I don't know what to make of this song. I think maybe he was under the influence while making it, based on the production. That's going to be my wild and outlandish guess, right? What a reach to say maybe he was under the influence while making this. Well, let's keep going. This one is called Funny Papers. This is track 9. We got Mac Miller producing, we got Taylor Graves, and we got Thundercat. Good. More Thundercat. All right, here we go. Drop it in. Track 9, Funny Papers.
Did no one ever teach you how to dance? Nobody ever taught you how to dance. Well, everyone knows how to dance. There's only so much time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody died today.
that.
I saw his picture in the funny papers. Didn't think anybody died on a Friday. Some angry banker or some kind of money trader recently divorced or drunk driving down the highway and drove off the bridge to his wedding song. Blew out the bass in the speakers, you can still hear the trouble going. Still bet it all on the glory, hallelujah. I heard the answer in the gibberish of an old drunk. All he said was he's in no rush. If I could just pay my rent by Tuesday, I bet I'd be rich by April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he smuggled constellations in a suitcase. Don't you love silence?
Smuggles constellations in his...
Everything quiet but the music.
I think that part is very important. As somebody who is, staying up late at night and isolating and, all this stuff, I imagine being up late at night, it's quiet, no one's around, and he can just make music. That's probably like his place of zen, is just making music. I really like the idea of the moon smuggling constellations in a suitcase. I really like that. There's a thing, I remember seeing this when the album came out. People were talking about that. Didn't think anybody died on Friday. Apparently Mac Miller died on a Friday. So there's that. Some angry banker, some kind of money trader, recently divorced, drunk driving down the highway, drove off the bridge to his wedding song, blew out the bass in his speakers. You can still hear the treble going. The hospital was useless, and everything was quiet but the music. I only meet peace when in deep sleep, in the same dream. World safe smile on her face, waiting on the other side. Who is this referencing, I wonder? Nothing. No one, they're just guessing. Okay, all right, so nothing specific there. All right, let's keep going. Interesting song so far.
Somebody gave birth to a baby boy. I saw his picture in the funny papers. 11 pounds named after his Uncle Gabriel.
11 pounds?
His mother cried with her lips against his soft face. Watch her bring these bright eyes into this dark place. Oh, sweet, sweet oblivion. Way before the information gets settled in. Just pay my rent by Tuesday. I bet I'll be rich.
I love this chorus.
April Fool's Day. The moon's wide awake with a smile on his face as he smuggled constellations in a suitcase. Don't you love silence? Oh shit, here come the icebreaker. It's danger when he's bringing out the lightsaber. The word's awesome, but he's talking out of turn off, and I blew the fuck up, then became the world's problem. Bad hygiene, all about that gross life. Hate to see somebody fucking up their own life. Just roll the dice and put 20 on midnight. Have a feeling we gon' win tonight.
Oh, good. And we get like a minute of just music. Which feels even more important, given that. This makes me think of the end of Bohemian Rhapsody. How it plays out at the end. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters to me. Anywhere the wind blows. That's a great track, Funny Papers. I like that one. Because when the snakes start slithering, you spot the chameleons, you realize you're surrounded by reptilians. Snakes in the grass, chameleons like people changing their colors, you know, changing who they are, they're turning on you type of a thing. Here comes the icebreaker. It's danger when he's bringing out the lightsaber. I don't know what the fuck that means. The word's awesome, but he's talking out of turn often. No mention of the lightsaber in this. Okay. All right. I don't understand that part. Somebody gave birth to a baby boy. I saw his picture in the Funny Papers. 11 pounds named after his uncle Gabriel. His mother cried with her lips against his soft face. Why'd she bring these bright eyes into this dark place? That makes me sad too. You know, people talk about they don't want to have kids because they don't want to, you know, how could I bring somebody into this awful, awful world? And I understand the argument. I think there's some truth to the argument, but there's also a lot of wonderful things in the world. And yeah, it's all about perspective, I suppose. Sweet, sweet oblivion, way before the information gets settled in, right before you realize how awful the world is. I swear to God, I never want to sin again, but I fear that trouble's on its way. The mind go with age, don't surrender. My mistake, I misplaced all of my remembers. There's a little vacation in the dresser. Take one for depression, two for temper. Good song, Funny Papers. I like that one. Good song. Let's keep going. Next one's a little shorter, just over 2 minutes. It's called Excelsior. Just old Larry Fisherman on the production scene. Dropping in track 10, Excelsior.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
A little bit more piano.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
On 4th
Fucking
Street,
with
the
the
orphan children
piano
play on the
sample.
jungle gym. Little Timmy broke his arm again on the monkey bars. Johnny's dad got a nicer car than all the other kids. He becomes the alpha and picks on everybody else. Max protects Claire from all the bullies. Claire always wished she was as pretty as Julie. The boys always chase Julie round the sandbox. Claire just waits till she gets picked up by her grandpa. All of this before the brainwash starts. Before they get polluted, start thinking like adults. Life is fantasy and somersaults and before the world tear apart imagination. Before there were rules, before there were limits. Your only enemies were
Brussels sprouts and spinach.
me. I used to want to be a wizard.
This is a beautiful song. This is a beautiful song. I really like this one really hits, in my opinion. I love the production on it, but the theme of it is brilliant. You know, talking about, you know, the lyrics are very straightforward, obviously. It's just, you know, kids running around living their lives, doing what they do, and then ultimately, eventually, you know, you grow up, right? I still remember when my son was in I think it was first grade, or maybe it was when he was kindergarten, because I was dropping him off at school, and I remember walking by the front where the kindergartners were playing, and it was just where we live in California, pretty diverse. So it was just all these different kids, all these different races, just kids just playing, and it was so beautiful, and it was so sad, because it's just like we're taught to fucking hate each other. We're taught that. We don't, it's not innate. It's not inherent. It's just, there's all these kids running around with their friends, and they're, having fun and playing and what have you. And then eventually, yeah. And, part of being taught too is life experiences. Like, if you're a person that just constantly has a negative experience with a certain group of people, whoever that group is, you're going to not like that group of people, whoever it is, right? Whoever it is. But it's just, some of this shit's just so sad. Like, and then I take that idea and let's put it into the context of Mac Miller's life, especially if you're a person who maybe you even feel trapped in your own life, and you daydream about, okay, well, what if I was just some normal guy? Well, the fucking world's trapped in its own world, essentially. There's a real escape if you want to get away from these things that are awful. That's why it's so important to try and focus on positive. It's so important to engage with things that you enjoy. Because if you want, you can find negative all day long. You could engage with negative all day long, and you will make yourself miserable because of it, and nothing will change. Nothing will change. You got to try and focus on positives. You got to find your positives, whatever they are. It can be anything. Anything. It doesn't have to be fucking amazing and impressive to the world. It only has to matter to you. That's it. And if it matters to you and you get enjoyment from it, then focus on that. Put yourself in that. I think that song's fucking beautiful. Beautiful. It's very sad. It's sad. I think there's a lot of truth in it. It's sad in the context of Mac Miller and his life. He's probably wishing he could just go back to being a kid, where life was easy and my problems were so simple and trivial before they were polluted. Life is a fantasy and some somersaults. Before the world tears apart imagination, before there were rules, before there were limits, your only enemies were, want some Brussels sprouts or spinach? Your only enemies are vegetables. Goddamn vegetables. But you know what? Honestly, this is one of the reasons why I enjoy motocross so much. When I'm out there in the desert on my bike, nothing else. There's nothing else. And I mean, obviously, it's not like it's just the mind state. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm worry free. I'm just focusing on what obstacle's coming next, and manipulating the bike and manipulating my body, and I'm exercising, and I'm outside, and I'm offline. It's just I'm with my son, or I'm with my dad, or I'm with both of them. It's just the list of wins is just. It's so important for me. So important. It's great. It just helps. It alleviates everything. I don't think about work. I don't think about anything else. Just ride. It's very freeing. And sometimes it bums me out. Like, this is, I'll rant and rave a little bit about what some of these hip hop artists spend their money on. And it's like, God, I wish I could have, or not me, but I wish Mac Miller would have just got into fucking dirt biking or got into surfing or something like that, Like, stop sitting around the fucking mansion with a bunch of drugs and booze and bitches and all that. Go out, go do something. Go do something. Anyway, now I'm just fucking straight up old man mode. You damn kids sitting around the house all the time playing your video games and drinking your lean. Get a job. Let's move on to track 11, Transformations, featuring Delusional Thomas. Alter Ego of Mac Miller. Okay, so we got Mac Miller featuring Mac Miller, produced by Mac Miller, Thundercat, and Guitaro. Here we go, track 11, Transformations.
Just kidding.
Everything when I do my features, man, it's gotta be fucking crazy, bro. This place gotta be right, bro. Can't come up crazy, man. I mean, when you're dealing with DJ Clockwork, you're dealing with someone that A, knows his hip-hop.
He knows his hip-hop. He, he's a student of the game, and he treats his bars like a, he really does that shit.
If ever, oh, there's a beer up there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Trippy. Very trippy.
Okay, so, alright, psychopathic thinker, hyperactive drinker, blew my shit up with a thumb up like Henry Winkler. My bitch like a king cover, put it in her sphincter. The bitch like a bad fart.
All she do is linger.
All she do is linger.
But, let me try that again. Okay, shit, I should have been a singer. I should have been Kurt Schilling, would have had a sinker. Ahead of y'all chillin',
baseball
looking
pitcher,
in my
right?
blinkers. Rappers are some bumblebees, pulling out your stingers. Yeah, I'm getting high, smoking weed again.
Leave for the lows.
For the medium, couple of my homies were on CNN. I changed the channel once they went into commercial. Yeah, delusional Waldo Emerson, just like you. I love football and lesbians. Never deal with bitches. These bitches are some lesbians.
I don't know what the fuck to think of this song. Kind of a neat production with it, but just kind of odd. I mean, I'd almost want to just call it filler. Like, okay. I mean, stuff like that's fun, but it's like, I mean, to me, that's just a skip right there. I wouldn't. There's nothing here I want to listen to. Strange, very strange, very strange. Okay, there you go. There's whatever the fuck that was called, Transformations with Delusional Thomas. Let's move on to track 12, which is called Manakins. This is 3 minutes as well. Producer's Larry Fisherman. Dropping in track 12, Manakins. Huh. I like this. This is cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, my good days are exactly like the bad ones. My bitch say that I defy the laws of attraction. I've always been terrified of ending up normal. Things that we all search for end up finding us. God is like the school bell, he gon' tell you when your time is up. Shit just end up working out. Why do we wonder why it does? Yeah, so I asked God to take me on a perfect day.
I love the production.
I'm crying, don't know why everyone's sure it's rain.
Oh, cool. I like this song. Manakins is cool.
They tell you that you need to sleep, and suddenly you do.
I guess I'll let it finish.
You're gonna wake up as someone who isn't you. We've all been down that road before, poured alcohol on open sores. Nobody can hurt me if I go
love
outside and
this
close the
sound,
door.
this production.
I'm
I
scared
love
of growing
it.
old and dying. Feel this where the answer lives. You wear the garments, everybody needs to dress the mannequins.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is great. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Manakins. That little trippy sound. Great song. I like Manakins. That was great. There's some. Let's get into lyrics a little bit here. My good days are exactly like the bad ones. So that's the first line. Let's keep that as like a rule that will apply to the rest of the lyrics. Things that we all search for end up finding us. Terrified if ended up normal. I asked God to take me on a perfect day. But I wonder how a perfect day compares to a bad day or a good day. Because if your good days are exactly like the bad ones, then how does a perfect day fit into that like rule set? Let's see here. Life just gets so boring. Playing superheroes make it fun, but why is heroism so close to heroin? We are what we believe in. There is no such thing as freedom, but what can we do? I think there's some truth in that. I think there's some truth in that. We talk about back in the day when I was going through my loss of religion with Christianity and stuff, and I just remember going through lots of discussions and debate forums and stuff like that. There was one, I can't remember the name of the website anymore, but it was actually excellent discussion. Some of the most incredible discussion I've ever seen online, of all places. And I remember, free will. People talk about free will. We have free will. And it's like, we do not have free will. We are constrained by so many rule sets. First, just physical limitations, right? I do not have the free will to just jump over my house. I do not have that ability. So I can want to do that, but I can't do it. And obviously there's resource limitations. There's time. Like, we have all these limitations around us. So in my opinion, we do not have free will. I mean, yeah, we can say we have free will. And yeah, we can go do whatever we want, but everything we do has a consequence. And so therefore you're not free in that decision. Anyway, don't want to get down that road too much, but just there's my position on that debate. So when he says there's no such thing as freedom, there's like some freedom, right? We're free to do some things, but I would argue there's more stuff we are not free to do than we are free to do. And then he comes in with the question, so what can we do? I don't know. There you go. Yeah. What can you do? Just try and enjoy it. I really like that he says, you become, what is it? The things that we all search for end up finding us. Yes. Well, you find it. It finds you. It's both ways. If you search for negative, you're going to find negative. If you search for positive, you'll find positive. So it's all about, what can we do? Got to make a conscious choice. I think now more than ever, especially now with feeds, algorithms, rage bait, engagement, all that fucking garbage that's happening now, where they're just everywhere you go in front of these fucking things. 8:00. It's just being shoved in front of us, right? Like, I feel like YouTube is awful. They just keep shoving the same shit, and I'll do the thing. Would you like? Every now and then it pops up. Would you like to like reset your feed, see something new? Yeah, and I just see the same shit. And I keep putting like, do not show this channel, don't recommend. They just keep pushing the same fucking rage bait all the time. It's annoying. I've been spending less time online. It's been good. It has helped. I think everybody should do less time online. They tell you that you need to sleep, and suddenly you do. Scared you're going to wake up with someone who isn't you. We've all been down that road before. Poured alcohol on open sores. Let's click this annotation. Mac is saying it feels like the person is miserable, staying up all night thinking more. Okay, sure. Not scared of growing old and dying. Feel this where the answer lives. You wear the garments. Everybody needs to dress some mannequins. Nobody can hurt me if I go inside and close the door. This fear of pain. I mean, pain sucks. Heartbreak sucks. Being let down, being disappointed sucks. But Jesus, if you hide from it all the time, you're never going to live a life. People are going to let you down. People are going to hurt you. They're going to upset you. But you'll never live a life otherwise if you just go inside and close the door. So I don't really know what the point of that is, honestly. All right, let's keep going. There's one more. This isn't the final song, but this is the last song before the really, really, really long song. Although it's funny because my favorite Tool song, I think, runs about 12 minutes, so I shouldn't even be like worried about a 12-minute track. This is called Rick's Piano. Larry Fishman, Thundercat, Dylan. I'm going to call him Dylan. Dylan Reynolds. Track 13, Rick's piano.
Josh?
Yes?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, who?
Rick Rubin's piano.
Hey! Yes.
Not fucking around.
Okay.
Yeah. All of y'all are still bitches, but the smell just in place of your makeup.
Oh, you said makeup. Great.
The
So,
best.
I was thinking of Chop Suey. Wake up, grab her brush and put a little makeup. So I'm so glad he did makeup after wake up. Makes me think of System of a Down. And of course, the annotation is long and not talking about System of a Down. Not that they should, but that's just what came to my mind.
Yet to come. Yeah. What? Yeah. E.T.'s not dead, he's just a little bit faded. Please don't give me any credit, that's how people get jaded. Please don't nod your head, and please don't tell me I made it. Cause people start to get worse once they think they the greatest. The best is yet to come. Yeah.
I want to pause right there because it's the voice is screwed and it's in italics, and Delusional Thomas is listed as featured in the italics. So it's Delusional Thomas telling her the best is yet to come. That's noteworthy. I think that's important.
Wonder if the truth come with a song, and if it do, will we ever get to sing along? Spend her paycheck on that lingerie, she's scared to put it on. She never let her boyfriend see her in a thong, but
The best is yet to come.
I shot myself on my birthday, fell into the ocean. Listened to their voices, I was lost in the commotion. None of us are chosen, now forgive them for their ignorance. But what's a man gotta do for a little bliss?
I'm gonna pause right here. This annotation for I shot myself on my birthday, fell into the ocean. The annotation is talking about created around the same time. This line references faces, colors, and shapes, with Mac's discussion with the captain at sea telling him to let himself slip. That could be true. To me, I think it's I shot myself as in I shot up heroin. I shot up heroin, fell into the ocean, listened to their voices, but I was lost in the commotion. So like maybe it's if it is his birthday, it's probably a party, birthday party. So everybody's there having a good time. He shoots up and he just falls into the ocean and is listening to them. You know, none of us are chosen. I forgive them for their ignorance. So like nobody even realized he was high. What's a man got to do for a little bliss? So to me, that he's shooting up heroin at his birthday party. E.T.'s not dead. He's just a little bit faded. Is E.T. like the space alien? Yeah, okay. Inside joke between Mac and his friends referencing their life-size stuffed E.T. that stayed in the studio. That's funny. They're getting him high. That's funny. Please don't give me any credit. That's how people get jaded. Please don't nod your head, and please don't tell me I made it. Because people start to get worse once they think they're the greatest. The best is yet to come. There's so much emphasis here on trying to just basically just imagine this idea of we're going to go all the way back to track 1. We're going to start the reaction over. But the idea of essentially being trapped in your life. I'm rich as fuck and miserable. This can't be as good as it gets. How horrifying would it be to consider the idea that the situation you're in now, where you're strung out on drugs and you're rich as fuck, but you're miserable and you're up all night and you're trying to isolate, if this is the best it gets. No. So this song feels like just like a push trying to keep that idea out. No. The best is yet to come. This can't be the best it gets because this is awful. This can't be the best. The best is yet to come. But he's saying it as this delusional Thomas persona.
What is
Why does death steal light? Steal light. Steal light. This feels like a closer for the album. I'm curious to hear the last track, with it being so long. I like when the drums are they kind of like speed up, get a little aggressive, like frantic, almost fearful. And the piano is fantastic on this. The piano feels like it's kind of floating in the ocean, drifting off into a sunset or something. This is beautiful. I wish this was the end right here. I mean, I say that, I haven't heard the last song, obviously, but this feels like a great closer for an album. You know, this other part, too, what does death feel like? And associated with the best is yet to come. I feel like there's double meaning here. The best is yet to come, as in, this can't be as good as it gets. Like, it has to get better than this. And so, like, maybe this hope of going forward. But then also, and even if maybe this is the best, well, at least it will be over at some point. What does death feel like? Like, even if this is the best and I'm miserable, well, eventually someday I won't have to deal with this anymore, and then the best is yet to come. Especially, too, you know, with Mac, you know, Christian belief in terms of like suicide, that's the one unforgivable. Well, it depends. There's all these denominations and all these opinions on suicide, but that's the unforgivable sin. If you kill yourself, you just go to hell, and that's it. That's what I was told to believe. But if you're Mac Miller and you have a belief in God, you have a faith in God and an afterlife, the idea of overdosing really isn't necessarily that bad, you know? Unless, I mean, of course, this is where you get into all the, like, the fucking, it's almost like theological lawyer talk where it's like, oh no, well, if you overdose, that's like a form of suicide if you do it on purpose. But he didn't do it on purpose, right? The stuff he took was laced with fentanyl. He didn't know, and that's what killed him. So then technically, you know, and I'm not trying to stir that debate because it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever has happened has happened, and wherever we go, and that's all there is to it. Can fucking scream about it back and forth all day long. It doesn't matter. But I'm just trying to put that idea out there to try and put myself in his shoes, you know, having less fear of death, because if it happens on accident, then great, this is all over with, and the best is yet to come. Great track. Rick's piano, I like that one. The piano is really good, and I like the drums, a little bit of frantic drum in there. There's a track I really love. There's an artist goes by the name of Alluvium, and the track is called The Well-Meaning Professor. It's just a piano piece. It's great. Check it out. If you've never listened to it, listen to it. Because it gets frantic at the end. It's really good. I love it. I love it. It's a great song to begin with, a great piano piece, but it ramps up and it just gets, it's an incredible song. Okay, final track. There's lyrics, not much, a lot of music. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that. Tomorrow, We'll Never Know, produced by Mac Miller. It's a 12-minute track. He's trying to rival Tool in his runtimes here. Good for him. I love a good long song, man. So hopefully this is good, and we'll see where it goes. Final track off of Balloonerism's Tomorrow We'll Never Know. I like this dark tone to start with. Boop, boop. I think of, I'm going to talk a bit since it's the long.
That you'll have no control. You walk through this world with your head above water, shoes made of copper just trying to flow. And he says, see, living and dying
Two things I want to say real quick. One, your call has been forwarded to an automated. Imagine you're praying, you're calling God, you're trying to talk to God, and there's no answer. It's just being forwarded to an automated message service. So that is important. And then this boop, boop, boop. The first thing that came to my mind as soon as I heard that is like a radar ping or a sonar ping that doesn't ping anything back. You're sending out your signal, trying to detect anything, and there's nothing. It just goes out. So those are the two elements that I'm picking up on first 90 seconds. Love how creepy it is. Walk through this world with your head above water. Shoes made of copper just trying to float. Legs frozen over. You look down at yourself.
Do they dream just like we do? Do they dream just like we do?
Huh.
Do they love just like we do? Do they love just like we
do? This is all just Mac Miller, right? Yeah, Larry Fishman, okay.
do you know anything at all? You've been waiting for answers. These parades and dancers keep building your castles from straw. The streets that you walk on are shallow, but do you feel as big as your shadow?
Huh. Very cool song. Very trippy. I wish it were dark. It's something you put on at night.
Do they dream just like we do?
So on the annotation it's saying he's asking about
Love just like we do.
dead people. Do dead people love, dream, feel?
Do they love just like we do?
As in the afterlife.
Do they feel just like we do? If you come back, it go away. Give you a chance
If you could make it go away, give you a chance to start all over. So let's touch on that real quick before we get into this 6 minutes of music. God, when he's talking, you wonder when God will just listen and give you a break, and he says, see, living and dying are one and the same. So if you die, you just get a chance to start all over. That's what I'm picking up on. All right, we got 6 minutes of music. Let's just chill out. This is pretty bitchin', especially since he made it all. You know, everyone's got their own opinions about the afterlife and what does and does not happen and what have you, but you could almost sit here and listen to this and just imagine this is what Mac is doing right now. Off in some studio, tapping away on the drums a bit, playing a little guitar a bit. This makes me think of The End by The Doors a little bit, just a little. Let's click the annotation for instrumental. This is cool. I like the inclusion of the sound of children playing. Relates back to Excelsior. Or no, not was it Excelsior? Yeah. Yeah. Just wanting to be a kid again. wanting life to be simple again. Or free, at least. Free with imagination. I love that sound. The boop, boop, boop. Oh, it is a phone ringing. But you're on the calling side. This feels very alone. Wishing to be a kid again. Wishing God would pick up the phone. Stuck in that frozen lake in the middle of the night. Pinging your sonar. No one's out there with you. Something else too about this is that it just keeps going. So like this feeling of all alone keeps going. And this is slowing down. That's it. Huh. That's pretty fucking dark. It's tough, man, because it's tough because the man made that because the man felt that. That's what's so tough. And what's even worse, or amplifies it, is he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. I want to like say something motivating or meaningful, you know. And sometimes it just isn't. Sometimes you just feel alone. Sometimes you just feel alone. I've been there before. I've had my moments. Fortunately, I mean, I'm very, very lucky. It was a long time ago, and my life is much improved now. What's that Dave album? I love the title. We're all alone in this together. I think that's what's called. I haven't listened to that one yet. I want to. Dave's pretty intense, though. That one I listened to, fuck, it was intense. The only thing I can say is, if you are in this, if you're living a tomorrow we'll never know sound in your life, if this is how you feel, you gotta. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, it's your life, it's your choice. But sometimes when we're lonely, we do a good job at focusing on how lonely we are. We focus on other people who appear to not be lonely, are not lonely, how nice their lives must be, how much I miss somebody, how much I wish someone was in. It's easy to focus on that, especially if you're alone, because you got plenty of time to do it, right? Yep, plenty of time to do that. You gotta turn it. And it's not an effort of ignoring the feeling. It's not an effort of pretending like it isn't real. But you have to, as a person, focus on something else. You have to, whatever an interest is. If you like reading, start reading. If you like to fucking doodle on a little notepad, something. You gotta turn that energy and just shine that spotlight somewhere else. Yes, the loneliness will still be there. No, it's not gonna cure your life. It's not gonna fix everything that's right. No, it's not gonna do it. That's not the point. That's not the point of the exercise. The point is to just focus on something. Don't stare at the abyss. Because what's that saying? You stare at the abyss long enough and it starts to stare back, type of a thing. It just turns into this feedback loop, and you won't get out of it. And it, the real kicker too here is if you're alone, there's no one there to help you to knock you out of it. Say, hey, snap out of it. Let's do this. No, it's on you, unfortunately. And you know what? That sucks. That sucks. It shouldn't have to be that way, but sometimes it is that way. So it's going to take some effort on your own to pull yourself out of this. To just and again, it's not even that. It's not even pull yourself out of this. Just fucking turn your gaze. Don't stare at the abyss. It'll be there. Don't worry. Don't worry. It ain't going anywhere. Okay? If you're worried, like, oh no, what if I don't look at it? It's got no. I'm being silly, but like, sometimes I feel like with problems, we do a good job of worrying and focusing on it. Like I'm doing that right now with my house with all this fucking water damage shit. And I keep telling myself, why am I worried about this? This problem will still be here tomorrow and next week and the week after that. It's going to be weeks until my house is back to normal. Why am I worrying about this problem? It's not going away. There's nothing I need to do about this problem. It's not going away. So what I need to do is fucking focus on something else. Like sitting down with music. Like there's some shit I can fix. Then some stuff I'm going to clean up. And I got to focus on the things I can do. There's nothing I can do over there that's going to make this go away. I got to wait for insurance companies. I got to wait for contract. I got to wait for all this shit. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to turn my gaze and try and focus on something else. It's been hard. I'm still just kind of generally stressed out and anxious. It's hard. It's not perfect, but I'm trying. That's the only thing I can do. What else am I going to do? Just sit around and worry and stress myself out? No, it doesn't. There's nothing to gain there. God, that song. You just feel the fucking emptiness. But the nice thing about emptiness, there's a silver lining here sometimes. As odd as it sounds, when you are surrounded by emptiness, if you do make the effort to focus on something positive, all of a sudden, wow, look at that. Look at this. Wow. Here's this one thing. Imagine a dry lake bed, this vast, open, flat, dry lake bed. And there's nothing there. And then you just put off in the distance a little playground, like a child's playground. Just boop. There's some color, some texture, some steps, slides, what have you. That dry lake bed looks totally different. It looks bizarre. I don't know why I'm picturing these images, but that's just what came to mind. But now you can go to that thing, and yeah, you're still in the middle of a dry lake bed. Yeah, it still surrounds you, but now you're on this thing, and you can fuck around, and there's something else. Does it fix the problem of, in this metaphor? No. But there's this thing, and you can fuck around with it. So just find your thing, man. Find your thing, whatever it is. Try and make it something healthy, Try and make it healthy. Not fucking Reddit or Twitter or fucking all that shit, I guess I should say how I feel about the album, huh? Well, obviously it engaged me on an emotional level, obviously. Here I am rambling about it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't Faces. Maybe I can go back to Faces someday. I don't know if I'll just start all over or what. God, it was just so fucking hard to listen to that. And this one was, I don't know. This one, I liked it. I don't have hearts next to everything. I didn't like everything. And that's fine. You don't have to like everything. But it was it's well done. It's well done. Whoever put this together, I don't know how much of this was complete, and I'm sure they had to do some work to finalize this end product here, of course, and people had to make decisions on what goes in and what stays out and the order and all that. But I feel like this is well done. In terms of a posthumous release, usually I don't like those. Usually I just feel like it's just a money grab. Here's the crappy songs that weren't good enough to be on the other albums. Let's throw them all in a thing and call it an album. And it's just kind of mediocre shit. This was not mediocre shit. This was engaging. It's interesting. It's sad. It's insightful to Mac and who he was as a person, what he was going through. So I feel like this is very well done. Very well done. Okay. There we go. Got through it. Didn't get all weepy. I was pretty scared at the beginning. I was like, fuck, I'm 2 minutes in and I'm ready to start crying. I feel like I have something more to say in terms of just loneliness, but I guess I don't. And with these things, it's important not to try and force it, right? If I have something to say, I can say it. And if it's not there, then it's not there. And I've said a lot already. Okay, y'all. Take care. We'll see you soon.